Good morning, beautiful souls, and welcome to day 2 of our course. Let me just check if I'm live. It always helps when technology works. So let me see. Am I live? Am I live? Am I live? So, okay, I see myself, so that's always a good sign. Okay, so let me tag everyone so people can find where I am. And then we get started. Who is excited? If you're jumping on, I can see people are jumping on. If you're jumping on, please say hi so I know who's here. If you're watching replay, please put hashtag replay and always participate. Remember, even if you're watching on the replay, please participate and engage as much as possible because it helps you retain information. It helps you embody and implement everything. So engagement, participation is so important for your transformation. So always remember to say hi, to participate, to answer questions, and obviously go through the activities that we'll be going through today. So today, first of all, I want to ask you, how are you guys feeling after day 1? Have you been doing your homework? Have you been connecting? Hi, Franny. Oh my God. Franny is the best. Okay, I didn't realize that she needs to get up 5 o'clock in the morning to do this live. So, Franny, I honor you and you're absolutely amazing. So, dedication, it shows that, people are so committed, dedicated, and it only inspires me and motivates me to deliver to the best of my ability. Okay, no pressure whatsoever. But, guys, how have you been feeling? Even if you're catching on replay, please tell me, have you been doing your homework? Have you been trying to connect to yourself more? What have you been doing? How have you been feeling? Today, it's all about connecting to your purpose. Hi, Amy. Hello. So it's all about connecting to your purpose, and it's all about turning your purpose into a clear message so that your clients are very clear about who you are, what you do, what problem you solve for them, and what results you can create for them. So this is very, very important because this clarity will help you attract clients, not only energetically speaking, but also in terms of marketing. Most people don't buy from you because they don't actually know what you do. And also because you are not positioning, they don't see you as an expert. So with a clear message, you'll be able to position yourself as an expert and they will see you as an expert. Okay, that's very, very important. Amy, yes. Hi, Lee. Hello, good to see everyone. Thank you so much for showing up live. I know it's crazy hours, so I apologize. Amy, yes, I meditated with the sun on my face. Oh, lovely. And welcomed in love and light and opened myself up to receiving. Amazing, amazing. That's good. So, why is it so important to connect to our purpose? As you know from day 1, from yesterday's training, our purpose really helps us raise our vibrational frequency. And when we operate at high vibrational frequency, that's when our desires come to us with so much ease and flow and speed. Because the minute you match the vibration of your desire, it just happens, okay? Okay. I see people trying to find me. Hopefully they can see this training. Anyway, so it happens just automatically, right? It drops into your physical reality. So that's one reason why connecting to your purpose is so important. But also your purpose is the key to your success, to creating the impact you meant for, and is the key to changing people's lives because your purpose wouldn't help you unlock your zone of genius. And we'll be talking about your zone of genius tomorrow. So you'll be really connecting to your special abilities, skills, experience, expertise, everything that makes you unique, something that only you possess that you can then turn it into a product or a service or an offer. And that will help you create impact, success, and also you'll be able to create something that is life-changing, life transformational for your clients. But only you have the key to this, and it all starts from your purpose. So it's extremely important, okay? If this is, I don't want to put pressure on you, okay? But here I am. if you don't get this right, there's no point creating a business, right? Because you are here. Remember, everybody here, it has specific purpose to fulfill. I know when I talk to people, they're like, I want to help people make a difference, or I want to spread more light in the world, or I want to help people fulfill their true potential. That's all good. We're all here for that reason, but you are here for very, very specific reason. Your purpose is actually very, very specific, okay? So you need to tap into it in order to fulfill it. So if you create a business that is actually not in alignment with your purpose, you will create massive block to your success. You will not be able to create the success that you truly designed for and destined for and meant for, okay? So a lot of people rush this process. They just want to get into, I just want to attract clients, I want to make money, and because I have the bills to pay. No, this is very crucial. Do not rush this part, okay? Don't rush any part of creating a business, because that's when we make mistakes. And that's why it's so important to heal blocks, because when you operate from your ego mind and from your mind in general, when you're under fear, under pressure, there's money desperation, then you can really create errors in your business. So remember, if you create a wrong business because you have not connected it to your purpose in the right way, then you're missing out on massive opportunities, and you have to, there's no even point creating that, okay? Does that make sense? Good. So what is your purpose? Who here knows what their purpose is? If you know what your purpose is, please share it with us. I would love to find out what your purpose is, okay? So let me just refresh it, because I know some people cannot find us for some reason, but here we are. Okay, so what is your purpose? Junita, hello, you made it, amazing. So, if you don't want to share it, that's fine, but if you want to share it, that would be amazing. So, the biggest mistake, what I see people make, is that they think they know what their purpose is. So typically when I work with coaches or spiritual workers or healers, they think that their purpose is actually the modality that they've been trained in, okay? So that is not what your purpose is. So if you have been trained as a coach, your purpose is not just coaching, right? Or if you've been trained as a healer, let's say Reiki healer, your purpose is not to be a Reiki healer. Does that make sense? Your modality helps you fulfill your purpose, and that's one part of fulfilling your purpose. A lot of people, they just like, yeah, I'm a Reiki healer or I'm a coach and that's what I do. This is who I am. They identify themselves with that label, and that completely limits them, because your purpose is very different. Your modality is something that helps you fulfill your purpose. Your modality is a skill, your ability that you've got. But you also have so many other abilities, skills, talents, gifts, experience, expertise, right? So in order to truly, and we will be talking about this more tomorrow, about your zone of genius, but you need to embody everything. You have to put it all together in order to put it out in the world, out to your clients. So by saying, oh, I'm a coach and that's my purpose, not only that's a wrong statement, but also it limits you. Remember, your modality, every single modality has its limitations, no matter how amazing it is. And the things with coaching or healing or, psychic mediums, whatever, those skills are so powerful, and that allows you to actually help people in any area of their lives. When it comes to coaching, you can coach people on any aspects of their lives. Same with healing. You can heal people from anything in their lives, right? So these are very powerful modalities, but that doesn't mean that this is your purpose. These are just skills, abilities that will help you fulfill your purpose. This is so important to understand. Does that make sense? Lee, still trying to distill my purpose. That's fine. That's fine. So you're in the right place. Hopefully we'll get you to that clarity. So that's the first mistake, okay? So remember that when it comes to using just your modality, remember all modalities have their limitations. So in order to overcome those limitations and be able to create the best results for your clients, the best life-changing transformations for your clients, you need to put everything you've got into the offer, right? Because then you can give them, you can overcome those limitations, okay? I remember specifically one client who was absolutely terrified because she was trained with a specific school, and they said, if you don't follow our processes exactly how we teach them, you're not part of the school, you cannot use our services, you cannot attract people through us, like that's it, you're out, right? And I understand that, the reason why they were so scared, because obviously their name was on the line, but it was completely blocking her alignment because she knew she wanted to, she loved the modality she was using, but she could see the limitations and she knew how to overcome those limitations of her modality. But she was so frozen with fear that if I do something outside of the box, they're going to kick me out, right? But she had to leave that place because if she stayed, that would have created a massive block to her success. And, for years when she stayed with that school, she didn't attract any clients, paying clients, right? She was offering everything for free. So the minute she stepped away from it, the minute she created her own approach, that's when the success happened, almost immediately, right? So this is the reason why I'm sharing this with you, is to really empower you to trust your gut and to give you the power to really understand that what you have inside you, everything inside you, it's so important. Don't just label yourself as a coach. That's not your identity. That's not who you are. You are so much more than your modality. And so give yourself space to create. The more you connect to yourself, the more creative energy will kick in you, and you'll be just creating things that can really help your clients. Remember, you're a creator. You'll be the leader. I know it's very difficult for you to now position yourself or even see yourself as a leader or or an expert. But remember that you are. Sorry, I'm losing my voice already. It's only day 2. Lucy, hello. That's okay, you're late. It's you haven't missed much. So remember that although it's hard for you to see yourself as an expert or as a leader now because you're probably doubting yourself so much, you will actually get to create something revolutionary. You will get to create your own approach, your own modality of how you get people from A to B, the problem to the results. And that's your beauty, and that's the key to your success. So please don't pigeonhole yourself to this one modality, And many of my clients actually have so many skills and so many different modalities, and they don't know how to actually combine it all together, how to put it together as an offer, right? And that's what we do. So the problem with typically what happens with my clients or before they become my clients, or what I see in an online world, is when people look for clients, they market themselves as a modality. So, hey, I'm a Reiki healer. Do you want to be healed by Reiki? Or hey, I'm a life coach. Do you want coaching in any area of your life, right? How many of you currently market yourself or you look for clients by using your modality? Please be open. I'm not going to judge. This is what everybody does. But I want to share with you why that's not correct, okay? So how do you currently attract clients? Do you talk about, hey, this is what I do, this is the modality, do you want this modality? Tell me. Okay, so the problem with that approach, obviously I'm looking at my notes. The problem with that approach is that if you market yourself as a modality that you use, you sound like everybody else who knows how to use that modality. And you create competition, right? Franny, I have only used word of mouth for 43 years. That's not bad. That's good. That's amazing. That means you're doing something right. That means, what you do actually works. So that's amazing. But when people come to you, like, what do you say to them? Like, what can you help people with? Lucy, yes, I've presented as a psychic artist, but only get word of mouth as well. Okay, that's good. But the thing is, word of mouth only gets us to a certain place, right? again, it's limitation. But when you're able to attract clients through social media, online, you can attract people globally. And that really opens lots of possibilities and opportunities. You can attract so many more clients in that way, okay? So word of mouth will always be like pretty much the best way, because people recommend you, right? But in order to create bigger reach, you need to be able to market yourself in the right way in an online space. So let's say you're a Reiki person, right? And you say, hey, I'm a Reiki practitioner, and that's how you promote yourself or market yourself. You sound like every other Reiki person, because every other Reiki person does the same thing. So you create competition, right? Which I don't believe in competition, because when you connect to who you are in your zone of genius and you create something revolutionary new, you don't have any competition because you've created something so unique. But when you position yourself like everybody else, like a Reiki healer, this is just an example, you create competition. And what happens? People start competing on price, which I'm not a big fan of, right? Because then people drop their prices to the point I've had so many clients who are offering the healing services or coaching services for free in hope that somebody will then turn into paying clients. That is a very, very bad approach because, well, many reasons. I'm not going to even go into details, but that's not how you want to do your business, right? Because you're hopeful, there's no strategy behind it. It's not like, I want you to know these are the steps I'm taking in my business and I know I'm going to get clients. It's a rinse and repeat process. It's not about hoping. It's not about, oh, hopefully if they like me and if they get results, then maybe hopefully they'll become paying clients at some point, right? Once you give people something for free, they expect it for free. And if you want to charge, they'll be like offended, like, hey, what? Right? We don't want to do it. So that approach, it doesn't work for that particular reason. And then you only appeal to people who know of your modality. So if you're a Reiki practitioner and you want to be and you marketing Reiki services, we will only appeal to people who have done Reiki before, who had success with Reiki and who know what Reiki is. So you're actually missing out on a massive chunk of population who have no idea what Reiki is, but Reiki might help whatever they're going through, right? So again, you are missing out on massive opportunities. When it comes to marketing and attracting clients, we want to help as many people as possible. We don't want to pigeonhole ourselves, okay? And remember that your modality is not your purpose. So if you just go with modality, you are blocking yourself energetically because you're not raising your vibrations to your purpose, okay? So the next step is, so how do we connect to our purpose, right? How, and what do I mean by purpose? This is the impact you are here to create, right? And as I mentioned before, everybody has very specific purpose, okay? So now I'm going to take you through a little meditation. It's what we did yesterday. Yesterday we were connecting to who I am, what is my soul-aligned vision. Today is all about impact. It's all about connecting to your purpose. Today, I'll be asking you some specific questions. So when I get you into the meditative state, and then when you connect to your soul and we ask your soul to take you to your purpose, to show you, I'll be asking you questions to help you connect more with your purpose. Remember, if you can't connect today, that's okay. That just shows that you have some conditioning and your mind is very active, and that you might have some blocks that are preventing you from connecting to your purpose. Normally when I work with clients, we do this one-to-one, so my journey and my guidance is very personalized to them. Today we're doing it as a group, so we have to be a little bit more general, but go with your own guidance. If for example, you you see an image or you feel something and you want to ask your own questions, by all means you do that, right? Like try to follow your own guidance as well, okay? So I'm going to play some music. And remember, only do this if you're in a safe environment, right? If you're driving or if you cannot be fully present, you can always come back to this. This is going to be on the replay, so you can always do this again, okay? So, let's do this. So, I want you guys, I don't know if you can hear my music. If you cannot hear it, that's absolutely fine. But I want you to close your eyes, connect to your heart. So Put your hands on your heart. Start breathing deeply. So 3 deep breaths. Breathe in through your nose and out through your mouth. Let's do it together. Breathe in. Breathe out. Breathe in. Breathe out. Breathe in. Breathe out. Okay. Now I want you to follow your natural rhythm of your breath. I want you to feel relaxed. The more you breathe, the more relaxed you become. The more you breathe, the more connected you feel. I want you to feel your heart. Feel its beating. I want you to see a beautiful, bright, golden light coming out of your chest, out of your heart. You can feel it connecting with your heart. This beautiful energy surrounding you right now. Keep connecting, keep breathing. The more you breathe, the more connected you are. Go deeper and deeper and deeper. Remember, you're in a safe place. You're here to connect to your soul. We're setting intention for your soul to come forward and to show you your purpose, so you can remember why you're here. You can remember what impact you're meant to create. You remember who you're meant to work with. You remember what problem you're here to solve for people and what results you're here to create. Keep breathing, keep connecting, go deeper and deeper. We're going to ask your spirit guides and my spirit guides to come forward to help us on this journey. This is a beautiful space where we get to connect to why we're here. Nothing else matters at this moment. You go deeper and deeper. Go deeper and deeper. We now ask your soul to step forward. And we want to ask your soul to show you what your purpose is. Be open to how you receive that message. It could be visual, it could be you can hear things, it could be you can smell things, you can feel things. Just be open to whatever comes through. Ask your soul to be specific so you can really understand what it's trying to tell you. Why are you here? What is the impact your soul desires to create? Let it show you right now. Absorb any information you're getting. Feel into it. Feel into how it's making you feel. Ask your soul to show you the people you meant to help. See them in front of you. ask them, what is the main problem I'm here to solve for you? Be open to receiving this information. Open your heart. I want you to open your heart and see beautiful golden light traveling from your heart to your client's life, to the people you meant to help. It can be multiple people, could be just one person, it's up to you. Now that you are connected heart to heart, feel into your client. Feel into what problems they might have. How they feeling, what they need help with. Let them share what's bothering them. Understand that you are the best person that can help them. They are waiting for you to step fully into your purpose so they can come find you and you can create this beautiful transformation for them. Keep connecting to the people you meant to serve. Keep connecting to your soul and your purpose. Now, I'm going to ask you some specific questions, so keep your eyes closed, stay in that beautiful space. And ask once more, what impact does my soul want me to create? If you could change one thing in the world, what would that be? Now I want you to see abundance around you. I want you to see money around you. You have all the fortune you've ever wanted. It's sitting right there in front of you. So imagine you've got it all now, when it comes to finances, of course. You don't have to work even one more day. Now, what would you do to create impact? What impact would you want to create knowing you don't have to make money? You know you'll be successful at it. This is your purpose. This is exactly what you're meant to be doing. You're the best person to do it. You know you cannot fail. You will be successful. What is it that you want to do? What is it that your soul truly desires? Now you have some time to ask your soul any specific questions you might have. Okay, when you're ready, we're going to come back to the room, come back to your body. But always know you can always return to this place. You have access to it all the time. take a few deep breaths and start connecting back to your body. Come back to the room, feel your body, and when you're ready, open your eyes. So now, tell me, oh, Erica, hello. Glad you could make it. So tell me, guys, how did that feel? Did you get any information? Did you get any messages? Tell me. Another thing that you could think about or connect to is this: it's your story. Okay, so remember, our purpose a lot of the time is connected to our story, because the universe always teaches us everything we need to help others through experience, right? That's why our businesses are so impactful and so powerful, because it's not something that you can read in a book. You know, we're not just teachers. We have experienced the pain. We have experienced all the lessons that our clients are currently going through, and we've managed to overcome it. And we have everything, absolutely everything, all the knowledge, all the skills to help other people do the same, because we have gone through it. That's why authenticity is so important. That's why I disagree when people say, you know, if you want to help people make millions, you don't have to become a millionaire yourself. I think in a way that's true, because you can coach people and teach people about how to create millions, let's say, but it's so much more powerful, and I think it's so much more authentic to do it when you have done it yourself. I really believe in embodiment, and you need to be the embodiment of your teachings. If you have not accomplished what you are preaching or what you are promising your clients, then you will feel like a fraud, and that will create a block to your success. So I think it's really, really important that you have gone through transformations that you want to help your clients with, right? And I personally had a client who was started spreading lies about, you know, she wanted to help people create six figures because that's what's fashionable these days online, right? And she was lying that she's already created that much money, and I couldn't work with her, because I said to her, I can't. You are my client. I can't. This goes against everything I believe in. You know, for me, creating impact and successful business is down to your integrity, honesty, authenticity. That's why marketing right now, it's so damaging, because it's not authentic, it's not real. And I've been caught in this. You know, I hired a coach, and I hired her because she was in the same situation, same position in life. We both had 2-year-old sons, you know, and she skyrocketed her business to millions, you know, pretty much in a space of 12 months. And I was like, oh my God, and I'm stuck at 6 figures, you know, how? And I was like, how did she do it? She doesn't work much, like everything, like exactly my life. She was leading my life, but she was creating so much more income. And I was like, I want to do this. So I hired her, and I actually hired her agency. And not only it wasn't delivered, and they didn't deliver it at all what was promised. So that already created a bit of a, bad taste in mouth. But then I later on found out that she was not a millionaire. She was not even 6-figure earner. She was in minus in her business. And that broke my heart, because I trusted her. She knew everything about my life. When you work with someone, when I work with clients, we work so intimately. Like, for me, it's such a beautiful bond. For me, I don't see it as a business. I see it as, you're human, I'm here to help you. I feel you, I hear you, I see you. I'm so motivated for your success. Sometimes I'm way more motivated for my client's success than they are themselves. And that's sometimes a problem. But, you know, so please do not lie in marketing. Please, I don't know, this is off the topic right now, but this is so important, because we want to create this shift. You know, for me, I'm really against the old-fashioned marketing that talks about manipulation, that it's all about distilling fear in people's lives, so they feel like they need your product, otherwise they're gonna die, right? Like, no. people are powerful. People are not wounded. People don't need to be fixed, right? I connect to my clients' desires. You know, I want to show them possibilities and opportunities, and I want them to say yes to working with me because that's what feels aligned, not because they're terrified, right? So I'm so against the 3D way of marketing because it is based on lies and fears, and it's all about money, and you know, there's not much real human connection. And that's why it's going to collapse at some point, right? I'm here to create a difference and shift in marketing, that we get to be authentic. That's why people buy from us, because they see our whole life, the good, the bad, the ugly, right? And they still want to work with us because we are humans. We're not robots. We're not perfect. Our life is not perfect, right? So I want you to be authentic, and I want you to know that's your biggest gift, and that's your secret weapon, and that's how you connect to people, right? So don't try to be like somebody else. Don't try to pretend you've achieved more than what you have, because you've already achieved amazing things, right? So don't go with social media and with the whole millionaires, billionaires soon. Like, oh, don't even get me started like that, right? People lie a lot. So be careful what you listen to. So your story, okay? That's important. Okay, so let me read your comments. So, Lucy, 3 strands. 1, giving young people with autism confidence and self-esteem. Amazing. Allow them to know they can open to their talents. Amazing. To create sculptures that people can see, something from spirit. My spirit connection to bridge them into their own spirit. Amazing. And to create psychic drawings and give readings that clear the fog and visually create images that spirit can talk to and connect to the client. Amazing. That's very, very specific. That is beautiful. How does that make you feel, Lucy? Is it something new? Is it something that you were already aware of? I know you're a psychic, so no, you pretty much you're probably quite connected already. Lee, how do we know what popped in our mind is from our soul and not just our mind talking? Does my question make sense? It makes perfect sense. This is exactly the question I've been asking myself probably the first few years in my business, when I was like, is it my mind? Is it my soul? Is it, who's talking? Like, someone's talking. Who is it, right? And the only answer I've got is that you will just know. At some point, you know. And if somebody has a better answer, please answer Lee, because my answers might not be might not be the right answer. It might not be the best answer, all right? But at some point, the more you connect to your soul and your heart, you will know the difference between your mind and your soul. And how do I know whether I just know. It's very difficult to explain, right? And it's also about how it makes you feel. So when you were in meditative mode, did you feel like you were thinking about things and then you were like, oh, maybe I should do this, or maybe I could do that? So were you using your mind, or was it more that you were receiving information, right? It's not something you think about or you try to create. It's something that you purely receive, right? Does that make sense, Lee? Lucy, good, but I don't have any business sense. That's all right. That's all right. That's why I'm here, right? I'm here to help you shape, because this is what normally happens when I work with, especially spiritual workers, but even coaches as well. You know, we have this, like, we are up here, and I've experienced this myself as well. So I know how difficult it is, because our thoughts, our ideas, they are all up here, right? We use the spirit, we are in the spiritual realm, we use spiritual language, and we all hear. But then it's so difficult for us to put in words what we do. So we need to bring our thoughts from here down to here, so that people understand what we do. And this is my zone of genius, because I'm able, by asking you specific questions, I'll be able to ask you, you know, what do you do? Like, what exactly do you mean? How does that look like? And I'm able to get the information out of you and then put it in a 3D way so that other people will understand. And so many times people are like, I don't know how you even put it into words, but this is exactly what I was trying to say. Like, it's almost like you put my heart onto a paper, right? And that just comes from not only I get guidance and I channel things for you, but also through coaching questions I'm able to do that. So so it's very, very interesting. So that's why I love spiritual workers or coaches. They struggle to put things into marketing, into, how do I portray or create content, because it's all about, I know what I do, I sort of feel it, I know, but I don't know how to explain it, because it is what we do is sometimes difficult to explain in words. Okay, Lee, yes, thank you. Okay, good. I'm glad you understood, and yeah, I'm glad I answered it well enough for you to understand. Well done. So, and also remember that a lot of people, when I ask them about purpose, they say, I want to spread more light, and they're very, very generic. So remember, you are here for specific reasons. So we need to get to really the bottom of it. Okay. So why is it so important to get it right? Okay. When I talk, when you connect to your impact, to your purpose, we then need to get very clear on two specific things: the problem you solve for your clients and the results you want to create. So that's the impact. Yeah, results is the impact you're going to create. So remember that you need to connect to the main problem that your client is facing right now. And it's the problem that probably manifests lots of different problems for them. So I know as healers, as coaches, we can help people with so many different problems, and our clients probably have more than one problem, and I'm really aware of that, right? But we need to focus on why they are looking for help. What bothers them so much that keeps them up at night, that they keep looking for solutions. They've tried different solutions, nothing's helping them. What is that one thing that keeps bothering them? Okay, so for example, in my business, I help people with so many different things, right? I help them connect to themselves, to their zone of genius, to their purpose. We create business from it. We create the product or service, right? We help people attract clients, enroll clients, make money. See, there's like so many problems that I'm solving for my clients. But why do they come to me, right? What is the main problem for my clients right now? That they're struggling to make money in the business. They don't know how to attract clients. They have this beautiful gift and they just don't know how to, they're not able to fulfill their purpose because they don't know how to attract clients into their business. That's the biggest pain for my client. They might not know why that exactly is, and that's good. That's perfect. That's why I'm here, to educate them and tell them, hey, this is what you need to do. And the results they just want to create impact, right? They want to make money, they want to help people, they want to create successful business. Okay? Pain, problems, results, right? So you need to get very clear on that. And I'm not talking, people talk about niching down and focusing on just one problem. No. I know you'll be doing so many things with your clients. I don't want you ever to pigeonhole yourself, because you are limitless, right? But you have very specific purpose, so we need to get clear on that purpose. Okay? This is really important. Why? Because when you target everyone, okay, you end up working with no one. So if your message is, hey, I can heal you from anything and everything, people are like, cool, that's cool, and they move on, because they do not feel connected to your message. Your message is so broad that you don't feel connected to it, because your purpose is not this broad. Your purpose is, you can work with anybody, but you need to have very clear message, right? If people don't know who you are, what you do, what problem you solve, what results you create, and how, then they're not going to be attracted to you. Does that make sense? Okay. So another thing is, people invest only in people they see as experts. Okay. So, and they only will invest if they have a specific problem. If you are solving something that is, that is like, oh, it's nice to have, but it's no big deal, people will not invest. And that typically our purpose is, we are solving something like big for people, right? That's why we create life-changing transformations for our clients. Okay, does that make sense? Lucy, yes, I agree. Hard to know how to connect with the outside world. Yes. I've gone through that. It is very difficult. It is. That's why I think you need help. Like, not only you specifically, but like we all need help, right? Like, I needed help as well with that. So remember, that if people have a specific problem, they will only then they will invest. So for example, if you, it's the same with doctors, right? If you have a toothache, you will not go to just a GP, general doctor. You go specifically to a dentist, right? And then you will pay for that service. And it's the same with people. If people are deeply depressed, they will not go to a healer who can heal them from anything and everything. They will go to someone who is specifically expert in depression, right? Because they will find somebody, right? When they go to an online world, there will be always someone who are positioning themselves as an expert. It doesn't mean that they're better than you. It's just that their message is clearer. So this is all down to marketing, but remember that your marketing needs to be energetically aligned with you. Therefore, needs to be aligned with your purpose in order to work. Okay, so if you are not specific with the problem, you will miss out on your people, because your people will go to someone who is specifically trained for that, or trained, or their purpose is to specifically help them with that specific problem they've got. Does that make sense? I feel like I'm really confusing myself here already. Okay. The more specific you are, the more connection you get with your clients. And remember, in this new way of doing business and marketing, it's all about human connection, especially in our field. We love people. We want to help people. We're healers. We're coaches. We want to create beautiful transformation for people. We want to connect to them on a deep, deep level. Only when they feel connected, only when they can feel love from us, they'll be able to open up. And that's when the transformation happens. Okay? So the more clear you are about your purpose and your message, the easier your connection will be with clients as well. Okay? And remember, if people are confused about what you do, confused people do not buy. Remember, they have money that they've worked hard for, and now they want to invest. They're like, can somebody help me with my problem? I can't deal with it anymore. They will think very deeply about who they're going to go with. So if they're confused about what you do, they're just not going to invest in you. Okay? And then it's very difficult to create content. When it comes to marketing content, it's very difficult for you. You'll be confusing yourself a lot. If you can help people with anything and everything, what do you talk about? What is your process? What is your approach, right? You will not be able to even create your own approach. So you're already missing that key to your success, okay? So another thing why this is so important is because you will not be able to fully step into your purpose. So it's almost like you'll be going around. So if this is your purpose and you're going around your purpose because you're kind of near it but not quite there, again, because you're not quite there with your purpose, you'll be creating energetic blocks to success and your clients as well, because you energetically will be a little bit out of alignment, okay? And you will miss out on your uniqueness. Remember, through your purpose, you will really start connecting to your zone of genius. And if you don't know what your zone of genius is, and you will not be able to put all of you into your product or service, you're completely missing out on your uniqueness, on your zone of genius, okay? On the key that will create something revolutionary and new to the market, okay? And again, you will miss out on a big chunk of population, okay? So I want to give you examples of two clients. So they were both Reiki healers. They came to me as Reiki healers. They were just promoting Reiki services. So they were both the same, right? But when we connected to their purpose, one person was, her purpose was to heal people from depression, but she was mainly focusing on suicidal thoughts. So people who are deeply, 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 deeply depressed, right? Another person, when we connected to her purpose, it was all about connecting people to their purpose and turning it into a thriving business. So similar to what I do. Well, her purpose is exactly what I do, but her approach is very different. She was a psychic, so she started bringing not only Reiki, but psychic mediumship into the readings. She was an artist, she was a graphic designer. Like she was like putting everything in it. So you can see how different their businesses were, right? But when they initially started with me, they were both Reiki practitioners, right? And they could not attract any clients into their Reiki businesses, right? Can you see how different it is? I hope this makes sense. And then I had another client, Marcus. So he was a phenomenal healer, and he was in healing world for like 7 years, like really, you know, like he knew what he was doing. But he was attracting clients, but it was not enough for him to survive. He was even an author. He wrote his own book. Like, I was blown away by this guy, right? And yeah, he was completely out of alignment with his purpose. He didn't know exactly what his purpose was. And then when we connected to his purpose, and I remember after that session, he just wrote one post on his main wall with his friends, and he said, hey, this is what I'm going to be doing from now on. This is who I am. This is the problem I'm solving. This is the results, and this is how I'm going to do it. He got 6 clients in within like 24 hours, one saying, I'm in. Yeah, we paying. Most people paid him in full straight away, and he made 18,000 euros from it. He was blown away. He was like, there's no point in me even doing a business strategy because I've already created what I wanted. I was like, no, I still want to teach you my business strategy. So, but you can see how powerful this work is, right? When you step fully into your power, into your purpose, you know who you are, you know who you want to work with. This is the problem. This is the result. This is how I'm going to get you there. Something shifts in you. Right? And when you embody it, when you say it publicly, one post, right? And those people have been in his world for so many years, and they never purchased from him. Because sometimes your people, I truly believe that there are people destined to work with you. And unless you step fully into who you're meant to be and you're visible, they're waiting. They don't know they're waiting for you. So many times I had people saying, where have you been? Where have you been? Like, I've been looking for a coach for a year, and you know, and I've connected to so many beautiful coaches, but there was always something holding me back. I just couldn't invest. And now I know why, because I was waiting for you, right? And I was like, yeah, I know. And the same thing happens with my clients, right? So unless you step fully, so you might already have clients in your social media, on your friends list, or in your email list. People might be already there. They don't even know that they want to really work with you yet, because you haven't yet stepped into your purpose. You haven't yet created what they truly desire yet. And once you step into that role, when you step into your purpose, when you start embody that and get into your power and you show the world who you are, then people will have, oh yeah, that's exactly what I needed, right? Lucy, I'm nervous about being visible because I'm a little bit shy. I know. And so there are 2 things there, right? There are definitely blocks to visibility, right? That typically we need to heal. But another thing is when you get clarity on your purpose, when you get clarity on your product, when you get clarity, this is my zone of genius. And then when you create your program, this is where something shifts in my clients. You know, they join my program feeling like, I know I want to create impact, but I'm so shy. I'm like, you know, they just want to hide, right? They want to sort of do it from a hiding place, right? But with every step we do in our business, we connect to our purpose. They feel more powerful. They connect to their message. They're more powerful. They get more excited. But then the big switch happens when we create their offer, because they connect to the zone of genius. They realize that they're actually so freaking good at what they're about to do. They understand their methodology, their new approach. They get excited and they think, oh my God, I've created something phenomenal here. Let me share this with the world. And from that place, you will not feel shy. Well, you might feel shy. We might need to heal that. I don't know. But, you know, from that place comes power, like your inner power. You know, they're like, you know what? I've got something amazing. I know this will change the world. Let me share this with the world. And you will feel excited to do it. And that's how you know that you're doing the right business. Because if you feel like, what am I going to talk about today? Oh my God, I need to create content, but I feel so tired. Maybe I'll go for a nap. I'm hungry. I'm going to make myself tea. If you work from that place, something is not quite right. Okay? You should be tapping into creative flow, into your creative energy. And you know, you should know what you're talking about. Like, you need to feel passion for your purpose. I'm not saying you're going to feel passionate 100% every day, but the passion doesn't really die. Okay? So I've seen this happening with my clients. You know, they go from shy and not knowing what to do in business to being like, you know what, I've created something absolutely phenomenal. Okay? So when it comes to creating your message that obviously is aligned to you, do not involve your mind, because when people choosing their business, or they think, okay, I'm gonna create like a really cool message, and people sometimes go with what's gonna be profitable. So people typically go in, okay, let me help people make money, because they just assume that that's what's gonna bring them money. No, there's no such thing as profitable or non-profitable niches or businesses. It is all down to your alignment. So please never involve your mind, or never even research what niches are profitable, because they tell you a few things, right? Typically, I can tell you that from being a business coach, right? It's all about helping people with mental health, physical health, money, relationships. These sort of things will always sell, because it targets people's like really difficult problems, right? But I don't want you, so the reason why I'm telling you this, like, don't do that. Don't follow your mind. It's all about connecting to your purpose. Your purpose will lead you. And you know that whatever business you create from it will be successful, mainly because you will be in alignment with who you truly are. So never worry about, will I make money? Is it going to be profitable? Because it will be. Money is just a byproduct of your alignment. Okay? Does that make sense? So I want you to ask yourself, what is the problem I'm really passionate about to help people solve? You know, like what, as I said, you know, for a lot of people, their purpose comes from their own story. Have there been a time where you've overcome a problem that was making you so miserable, and it was so painful, it was so horrible? Did you overcome a problem like that? And now you feel passionate about helping other people do the same. Okay? So, and really think about what is the one main problem that manifests other problems. Okay? Second thing, get clarity on what are the results that I'm so passionate about creating. So that's why I asked you about what is the one thing you would like to change in the world, right? Because the impact, you can create impact, you can change, through your impact, you can change the world. Okay? So what is the one result that you think is absolutely like the best thing in the world? Like for me, the best thing in the world is knowing that you do what you love, you do what you're absolutely best at, something that aligns with your purpose, and you make money from it. And you get to create impact. I think that's the best thing in the world. That's why I do what I do, right? And remember to use language that your clients understand. So and you need to meet them where they are in terms of messaging, right? So I'll give you an example. My client Martina, she was another Reiki practitioner, okay, and she was helping people with healing them from physical pain, like physical body pain, through emotional release, right? And obviously energetics and energy. But she wanted to help people who didn't even know about energy work, right? So first when she started creating marketing, it was all about energy and energy and energy. And I'm just like, but do your clients know anything about energy? Are they even open to energy? Or she said, no, they don't know anything about it. I'm like, yeah, so you have to change your message, because if your language is very, very spiritual and your clients are not spiritual at all, then they're not gonna, like, they will not understand what you're saying, right? You need to educate them first, right? So you need to be very careful in choosing who you want to work with. Who are your clients, right? Where are they in terms of their journey? Okay, if you are spiritual and you want to talk spiritual, then you need to have clients who are open to that, who already have some sort of knowledge about it, right? So it's all about choosing the right people you want to work with, okay? So the minute she changed her language to more normal, I don't know how to even say it, to more 3D, and she was saying, hey, if you have these physical symptoms and you've tried all the conventional way of healing that physical pain and it's still there and doctors don't know what else they can do, then come to me. Then I'll know how to help you. And loads of people responded, because they're like, yes, like, I've tried everything, nothing's helping, doctors don't know how to help me, so please help me. And then she would educate them, and she would then explain how energy works, but she got them interested first. Does that make sense? It was the same with another client. She was helping people overcome depression, but she was talking about self-love, how self-love is essential. But then her clients didn't know that self-love is what they needed, because they're not at that awareness yet. So remember, you are so many steps ahead of your clients on your journey, right? You're there to help your clients get to where you are. But remember where they are currently at. So meet them where they are and bring them forward, okay? So speak to them in a way they understand. So really put yourself in their shoes to really understand the problem. Because from my client's point of view, their main problem, it was self-love. But that wasn't the main problem in her client's eyes. In her client's eyes, it was depression. I can't get out of bed, right? But then when she changed her language and she got people interested in overcoming depression, then she was educating them that actually the real cause of their depression for them is lack of self-love. And they were like, oh, I didn't know that. Nobody told me that, right? Does that make sense? Can you please guys tell me if this makes sense? Because this is actually very crucial in attracting clients, okay? You need to use the right language so they understand. You need to meet them where they are on their journey. You probably know, so in my business, right? I know the reason why people are not attracting clients is because they're out of alignment with their purpose. They're out of alignment energetically. They don't have the right business strategy. But my clients probably think, oh, I don't know marketing, right? So I always need to educate my clients as well, right? But if I was attracting them just through like, oh, let me do energy work, they might not even know that that's the reason. So they wouldn't respond to my marketing material. Does that make sense? Okay. So you need to really think about your clients. So now I want to give you an example of like clear message. Oh, well, good. Like, you know, when people say what they do, it's called niche statement, right? So I'll give you an example of good and bad, and you have to vote. Yes, okay, Franny, thank you. Yes, Lucy, yes, making sense. Amy, yes, all makes sense. Amazing. So now I'm going to give an example of a niche statement, and you have to tell me, is it bad or is it good? Okay? So, I help you create a life of your dreams. Is that good or bad? Please vote. No shaming, no judgment if you get it wrong. It's all good. I help you create a life of your dreams. Is that good or bad? If somebody said that to you, would you be like, yeah, I want to work with you, I'm going to invest £1,000. Would you do that? Tell me. Tell me. Franny thinks it's bad, yeah. Anybody else? Don't be shy. It is bad. It is bad. Why? Because we don't know, we know nothing about what they're going to create. My dream life might look very different to your dream life, okay? Sounds good, but how? Exactly how? So when you tell people your statement or you introduce yourself, who you are, there shouldn't be any question marks, right? It shouldn't be like, oh, but what is dream life, or how are you going to do it, right? Like, no. People should know exactly, oh, wow, okay, I know, like everything's clear. Amy, it's not very specific, exactly, right? So we don't know what a dream life looks like. Like my dream life might look very different to your dream life. And if you have a business problem, let's say, I'm not attracting clients, you will not go with that person. You'll go with someone else who will show you how to attract clients, how to make money, right? If I had a health problem, I wouldn't go, I'll help you create life of your dreams. I'll go like, okay, I have a problem with my liver. I'm going to go to a liver person, right? Like probably a doctor. Okay? Now, what about this statement? I help single moms connect to their purpose and turn it into a highly successful business so they can become financially independent and work around their children with no guilt or shame. So So now, if you were a single mom and you want to create a business, successful business, would you go to the person who say, hey, I'll help you create the dream of your life, the life of your dreams, or will you go with the second statement? Franny, yes, it is very good, right? It tells you in a very short sentence what she does, who her ideal client is, what results that she's going to help them achieve, financially independent, and guilt or shame, right? That really identifies her clients, because moms typically, struggle with shame and guilt. Yes, good. And the thing is, when you can see the difference, and you can see how connected you are to different statements, and the more clear you are, the more your client, your potential client, is able to visualize, is able to connect to it emotionally. And they're like, yes, I want that. I want financial freedom. I wanted to, have my business and connect to my purpose. Like, it gets them going, and they're like, okay, so tell me how. Tell me exactly how. I want to know how. And they're like, okay, come to my world and I'll show you how, right? Because you cannot put in your statement everything, but talk to them about problems and results and who you're serving, okay? So in your statement, try to always say who you are. You can say your qualifications or who you are, but mainly tell them, who you work with, the problem you're solving, and the results, right? These are the main things. And obviously, when you're having conversations with clients, you don't have to be robotic and stick and memorize that sentence, but it's for you to have clarity, because when we're starting our business, it's very easy to lose clarity. So it's nice to, I remember when I started, I had my mission statement at the top of my screen, and I was like, okay, I need to be like, this is what I do, this is who I help. And whenever I was creating content, I was like, am I being directly, am I being, very clear about my clients? Does it make sense? Am I on the right path here, Because sometimes I wanted to talk about something else, about holidays, about healthy living, but I'm like, that's not specific to my client. Like, don't talk about that yet, Establish yourself as an expert. So when they see your name, they're like, oh yeah, she does this. She does this. This is her niche. This is her expertise. You want people to start remembering you for what you do. Okay? So your homework is keep connecting to your purpose, keep getting clarity on it, and ask yourself these questions about what is the main problem I desire, my soul desires to overcome, and what are the results that I'm so passionate about creating. Okay? So really keep connecting into it and get clarity. Problem, results, problem, results, problem, results. And tomorrow we'll be talking about how you can get people from problem to results. Right? So we'll be connecting to your zone of genius. We'll be connecting to everything you've got to put it in a beautiful offer that gets people from A to B, from problem to results, problem to results, problem to results. Okay? And this is the beautiful impact you want to create. This always gets me going. Guys, how are you feeling? Does it all make sense? So you can please share your homeworks in my Facebook group. You can just post it as a post. So share with us, and share your mission statements, because I can help you clarify it even more. So I'm offering free advice, free coaching, free mentoring inside of this group. So tell me what your purpose is, and I'll try to guide you and coach you to get you more clear on what what really it is. So just share. The more you participate, the more you engage, the more you get out of this free course. Okay? So have you got any questions? Share your questions with me before I disappear. But I'll see you tomorrow. If you even if you have questions after I end this live session, post it on my Facebook, inside the Facebook group, and I'll reply to you, of course. I'm never gonna ignore you. Oh, Amy, thank you. Another amazing session. Oh, I'm so glad. I really hope this is helping you to see how you can really build business from your purpose. It's really like step by step, because a lot of people, they have their gifts or their modality, and they jump into attracting clients, and they miss out on a big chunk of what I call business foundation, because they don't really even have a business yet they're trying to attract clients into something that like it's not yet a business, you know. And people feel really frustrated and they want to give up because they're like, yeah, but I'm not attracting clients. But it's only because you don't know the steps to create a business. And it's not difficult, especially when you work with someone who can help you get this right. You can really get this quite quickly. Oh, Lucy, thank you for today. Thank you guys for showing up. Franny, thank you, feeling clearer to this process. Amazing. I'm so happy. Guys, thank you so much for joining me live. I know it's hard because it's super early in the morning, but you've showed up, you did it. Amazing. And for those of you who are watching replays, thank you so much for showing up for yourself. Thank you for joining me. I love spreading this message. I know this is so impactful and it's been life-changing for me and for my clients, so I know this works, okay? I'm sending you lots of love. If you do have questions, you can always post them in my Facebook group. But for now, I wish you all the best and I'll see you tomorrow. Bye!